Good afternoon. Welcome back to Mexican Life and Wife. I'm going to talk a little bit about the trip to Querétaro in September of 2021. So this will be the first time that I got to see Rebecca in person since our last video that you saw that we did get engaged. So it was still COVID. Times were tough. Still trying to book flights were difficult. Lots of cancellations, lots of rerouting. So my path took me this time from Edmonton, Vancouver to Mexico City. Then I caught an autobus. And so it actually was kind of more of a luxurious kind of bus. It wasn't that bad. It only cost I think 450 pesos, which is like not very much, like 25 to 30 bucks Canadian. And what that did was, so I landed pretty late after I got all my luggage and everything like that from the terminal. The autobus depot is actually in the airport, so it was perfect. So all I needed to do was go upstairs with my luggage, and I was within a half hour of the bus departing. So it worked out great. It was at night, so basically these buses have like Wi-Fi, they have TVs in front of you. The seats recline and the footrest also recline, so it was pretty comfortable. I was still pretty jacked up, so I wasn't really in the mood to sleep that much. I was kind of looking at Mexico City because that was actually the first time I ever saw bits and pieces of it. It was dark, it was late, so I arrived at Querétaro Autobus Depot at about more or less between 4 and 4:30. And by the time, I got my luggage and everything like that, Rebecca was waiting at the airport. She had her car there. And from there to her place of residence at the time was not even 20 minutes. So it worked out pretty good. I mean, it was a long day, but you know what? Yeah, I did what I needed to do. And so, because the purpose of the trip was actually to not only see Rebecca, but also to plan and do, planning for a wedding in Mexico, in Querétaro. And so we were going to look at a lot of venues, do some, meal sampling, etc. We already knew it was just going to be a civil ceremony, so we were just hoping to, find a spot that in the venue that it can be just performed at. And so from there, it was, a lot of, checking out places, hotels, restaurants, etc. Right? And it was fun all at the same time. I enjoyed it. I mean, this is it's going to be a happy day. So that's what we did to make it happen. We also, because it was still COVID, we did a lot of going to parks. Not a lot of typical going to see the sightseeing. I mean, we did go down to Central, but that was only because we needed to get some documents legalized, etc. Those kind of things. And from there, so a lot of the typical pack a lunch, go spend a day at the park, walk around, or go to a park, walk around, see some parrots that are wild, and go back home and take a siesta. Just take it easy. So when when in Querétaro, Rebecca's tios, so that's aunt and uncle, Carlos and Patty, took us out to a really nice restaurant, and it was near the Querétaro airport, so probably about 25 minutes away from Rebecca's place of residence. And what it was is it was like a it had like a train, so kind of like a historical or remodeled train, and also it had like a wine cellar. So it was actually a good place to look at, a venue as well. The food was fantastic. You know, you're driving out in an industrial area there, so I was like, not sure about this. But then once I saw the place, I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. This is really nice. And so it had a, open concept. The food was really good, and yeah, no, I really liked it. So I stored that one in the, in my mind, and then we continued to look at other venues. Now, also we were there, and it was we also went to another restaurant, but this time it was to celebrate September 15th. So that's Mexican Independence Day. And as I mentioned before, Querétaro played a big part in Mexican independence. So where we went, and we went with the tios, so Carlos, Patty, and Carla and Memo, cousins of Rebecca, and their children, Rodrigo and Maria Jose. And so we had a set menu. It was really good. I tried some different things, and I'm not used to it, so some of it was like, and others was, oh boy, I'll have to have that again. And then it also included like a kind of like a live theater play that told the story of the planning of the Mexican Revolution, which a lot of it happened in Querétaro. And so it was well done. I mean, they dressed the parts, and of course, it was a lot in Spanish, but I can pick out some of the words in that. But I had a good understanding by the actions that they were taking on stage, and it ended, and then the night ended with a fantastic work of fireworks, and it was really interesting. I really enjoyed that because, of course, in the future, if this is going to be my home, I want to know more about it and the history behind it. So I really enjoyed that, and I thank them very much for bringing me to that. Now, we also on this trip, we went to Mexico City, Ciudad de Mexico, and so the best way was actually to go by the bus again. And so we did, and we just packed lunch and ate on the bus, whatever. And of course, it as I mentioned before, the bus station was at the Mexican airport. So the family, Rebecca's family, has a driver they pay who's under, like a retainer, I guess. I don't know how they do it, but he works for the family. And so his name is Oscar. Great guy. Not a lick of English, but you know what? We were able to communicate. He did some pointing, checked, making sure that I was catching some of the sights. We were driving around downtown. Saw, where the president does the El Grito, and so the El Grito is Viva Mexico, Viva Mexico, and so that had a big part of the Independence Day. So a lot of the decorations were still up, and it was still, of course, it was COVID, so it was kind of minimized so the masses didn't gather in the square as they typically do. So we stayed at the Tios, Carlos and Patty's residence. They stayed in Querétaro. They have another place in Querétaro, and it so happened that cousin Memo also stayed there. He was there in Mexico City on business. He was doing checking some things out, making sure his business is going well, because Memo lives in Querétaro as well, and he wanted to look at maybe some other equipment to purchase. We were invited to supper with Rebecca's other cousin, Vanya, her husband, Joaquin, and son, Patricio, and also Tia Bibi, who all live in a, it's kind of a bigger home, and it's almost like a, kind of a bigger duplex, but there's 3 homes attached, and they're separated by levels of floors. So first floor is Bibi, second floor Vanya, and third floor Tia Marta. And so we went there. Vanya picked us up. We picked up some, I think it was, I can't remember, tacos pastar. And so you get to make your own kind of tacos with a variety of different sides added to it. It was really good, and it was really and talking and having a good time. So they didn't want the evening to end. They wanted to take us out, and so they took us out to Garden Hidalgo. So Hidalgo was another player in the Mexican Revolution, and so this is in Mexico City. And it wasn't that far. I think it was within, between 20 and 30 minutes. And so what it is there is a garden, so a lot of, park area, and also a bunch of vendors, restaurantes, also, bars or cantinas. And so Vanya was introducing me to one cantina, and I didn't know this, but actually, you can actually bring your own bottle. They'll put it in a locker for you, and you can drink from that bottle. They'll keep the key and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty interesting that they can do that. And the cantina was quite full and very friendly, and everybody was having a good time. We also chowed down on some churros, and a typical Mexican deep fried dough, and you can get it. I had with cinnamon and sugar, and I think Rebecca had chocolate, and so oh my goodness, those are good. So yeah, there, you can get churros in Edmonton at some Mexican restaurants, but I think this was pretty traditional. And so that was a good evening. We walked around and checked out some of the vendors and stuff like that, because I like looking for trinkets and stuff like that. And by that time, we called her a night. So we went back, and Memo was done his long day and everything like that. So we also had intended, and we actually got an appointment with the Canadian consulate there, and it's in a part of Mexico City that's a lot of money there. It's pretty, I think it's in Poncho or something like that, but very nice area, well to do, and so we went in. We had some documents notarized and stuff like that, and presented them to the Canadian consulate in regards to Rebecca, because of course we have a plan, and the plan is to work on the permanent resident for Rebecca out of country. So we're applying for permanent resident while Rebecca's in Mexico. And so I was talking to the fellow there, and of course I said, "Oh, nice place here, eh?" And I said, oh, you live around here? Or he goes, no, I can't afford that. So he lives a little bit further out. So understandably so. It's pretty high end. And then from there, it so happened that Memo was going home the same time, so we caught a ride with Memo back to Querétaro. I spent a few more days there, and yeah, and then it was time to get back. So I hopped on the bus and went to Mexico City, back to Vancouver, and back to Edmonton. But another trip that was great. Got some of the stuff that we needed to get done for both wedding planning and also the permanent resident, doing a little bit more figuring things out. So I'd have to say the trip was successful and also a lot of fun all at the same time. So I'm really enjoying it, but time to say hasta luego, and you take care and stay with here, and there'll be a slideshow of some of the things that I just talked about. Take care.